Canada is the world's second-largest country, stretching across 6 time zones and offering everything from bustling cities to untouched wilderness. With over 40 million people, it's a land of contrasts: French and English heritage, glaciers and rainforests, skyscrapers and fishing villages.
This episode covers 7 days across Canada's most iconic regions, from Toronto and Niagara Falls to Quebec, Banff and Vancouver. Along the way, we'll explore natural wonders, historic cities, Indigenous culture and diverse food traditions, with clear travel advice and budgets in Canadian dollars.
Your journey begins in Toronto, Canada's largest city and a multicultural hub with over 200 nationalities represented. Start at the CN Tower, once the tallest freestanding structure in the world. The lookout level costs about 43 Canadian dollars, and for the adventurous, the Edge Walk, a harnessed walk along the tower's ledge, costs 200 Canadian dollars. Wander through St. Lawrence Market, ranked among the world's best food markets, where local vendors sell everything from maple syrup to artisanal cheeses. End your day at the Distillery District, a pedestrian-only area of restored Victorian warehouses, filled with art galleries, cafes and breweries.
Try pea meal bacon on a bun, Toronto's signature sandwich, for about 8 Canadian dollars. Pair it with butter tarts or Nanaimo bars for dessert. Toronto has more than 10 million trees, making it one of the greenest major cities in North America. Buy a Presto Transit card for easy access to Toronto's subway, streetcars and buses. A single ride is $3.35 Canadian. Downtown hotels near Union Station start around 180 Canadian dollars per night, while budget hostels are closer to 45 Canadian dollars for a dorm bed.
Just 90 minutes from Toronto lies Niagara Falls, one of the world's most famous natural wonders. Take a Maid of the Mist or Hornblower boat tour, which costs around 35 Canadian dollars and gets you close enough to feel the thunder of Horseshoe Falls. For a different angle, the journey behind the falls experience lets you stand in tunnels carved into the rock for 24 Canadian dollars. Stroll along Clifton Hill, Niagara's entertainment strip, filled with arcades, wax museums, and quirky attractions. For a calmer vibe, follow the Niagara Parkway, described by Winston Churchill as the prettiest Sunday drive in the world.
Sample local ice wine, a sweet Canadian specialty made from grapes harvested while frozen. A tasting flight costs around 15 Canadian dollars. Over 168,000 cubic meters of water flow over Niagara Falls every minute, enough to fill 70 Olympic swimming pools. If you're visiting in summer, arrive early morning or evening to avoid heavy crowds. Nighttime illuminations and fireworks over the falls are spectacular. Hotels with falls views range from 200 to 300 Canadian dollars per night. Budget motels nearby start from 80 Canadian dollars.
Fly or take a train east to Quebec City, the heart of French Canada and one of North America's oldest settlements. Its UNESCO-listed Old Town feels like stepping into Europe. Walk along the Dufferin Terrace, overlooking the river and framed by the Grand Chateau Frontenac, often called the most photographed hotel in the world. Explore Place Royale, where Samuel de Champlain founded the city in 1608. Don't miss the Citadel, an active military fortress with daily changing of the guard ceremonies. Entry costs 18 Canadian dollars.
Try poutine, fries topped with gravy and cheese curds, the province's most iconic dish. A plate costs around 10 Canadian dollars. Pair it with local craft cider. Quebec City is the only fortified city north of Mexico, with its original walls still intact. English is spoken, but learning a few French phrases like bonjour and merci goes a long way with locals. Hotels inside Old Quebec cost 160 to 250 Canadian dollars per night. Cozy bed and breakfasts in Saint-Jean-Baptiste start from 110 Canadian dollars.
Next, head to Montreal, Canada's cultural capital known for its festivals, food, and energy. Begin in Old Montreal, where cobblestone lanes, Notre Dame Basilica, and the Old Port showcase 17th-century charm. Basilica entry is 15 Canadian dollars. Take the funicular or hike up Mount Royal, the hill that inspired the city's name. From the lookout, you'll see sweeping views of the skyline and the St. Lawrence River. In the evening, explore Rue Saint-Denis and Boulevard Saint-Laurent, packed with cafes, bars, and international restaurants.
Try a smoked meat sandwich at Schwartz's Deli, a Montreal institution since 1928. A sandwich costs about 12 Canadian dollars. Don't miss a Montreal-style bagel, which is smaller and sweeter than New York's. Montreal hosts more than 100 festivals a year, from the International Jazz Festival to Just for Laughs, the world's largest comedy event. Buy an Opus card for unlimited use of the metro and buses. A 3-day pass costs $21.25 Canadian. Downtown hotels average 170 Canadian dollars per night, while boutique guest houses in Plateau Mont-Royal start from 120 Canadian dollars.
Fly west to Alberta and enter the heart of the Canadian Rockies, Banff National Park, a UNESCO World Heritage Site and Canada's first national park. Start at Banff Avenue, a lively mountain town with alpine shops and cafes framed by snowy peaks. Ride the Banff Gondola up Sulphur Mountain for panoramic views. Tickets cost about 65 Canadian dollars. Explore Tunnel Mountain or hike the Easy Bow Falls Trail, where turquoise waters crash over smooth rocks. Wildlife sightings here include elk, bighorn sheep, and even grizzly bears at a safe distance.
Try Alberta beefsteak or bison burger in one of Banff's rustic lodges. Expect to pay around 25 to 35 Canadian dollars. Banff National Park attracts over 4 million visitors annually, yet large parts remain pristine wilderness. The park's Canada Discovery Pass gives unlimited entry to all national parks for 75 Canadian dollars per adult per year. Definitely worth it if you're visiting multiple parks. Banff hotels average 180 to 280 Canadian dollars per night. Budget travelers can book hostels from 50 Canadian dollars or camp for 20 to 30 Canadian dollars per site.
No trip to Canada is complete without seeing Lake Louise, one of the most photographed lakes in the world. Its turquoise color comes from glacial silt refracting sunlight. Rent a canoe to paddle across the lake for 155 Canadian dollars per hour, or take one of the surrounding hikes such as the Plain of Six Glaciers Trail. Nearby lies Moraine Lake, set in the Valley of the Ten Peaks. Equally stunning and slightly less crowded. Access now requires shuttles or tours due to traffic restrictions, costing 8 Canadian dollars each way.
Warm up with poutine or smoked salmon chowder in the historic Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise. Meals average 25 to 40 Canadian dollars. Moraine Lake once appeared on the back of the Canadian $20 bill, earning it the nickname the $20 View. Arrive before 8 in the morning to avoid parking issues and tour bus crowds. Shuttles from Banff and Lake Louise Village are the easiest option. Staying at the Fairmont Chateau Lake Louise is a splurge, with rooms from 500 Canadian dollars per night, but nearby lodges and motels start from 150 Canadian dollars.
End your Canadian journey on the Pacific Coast in Vancouver, one of the world's most livable cities, surrounded by ocean and mountains. Cycle or walk the Stanley Park Seawall, the world's longest waterfront path at 28 kilometers. Inside the park, see the First Nations totem poles, among the most visited cultural landmarks in British Columbia. Head to Granville Island, home to a vibrant public market with artisan foods, fresh seafood, and local crafts. In the evening, take a sunset cruise across English Bay for around 60 Canadian dollars.
Try Pacific salmon sushi or fresh Dungeness crab. A seafood platter on the waterfront costs about 30 to 45 Canadian dollars. Vancouver is often called Hollywood North. More than 400 films and TV shows are shot here every year. Buy a compass card for the SkyTrain and buses. A one-day pass costs $11.25 Canadian, making it easy to explore. Downtown hotels near Robson Street start around 200 Canadian dollars per night. Budget hostels cost about 50 Canadian dollars.
Canada is a land of vast contrasts. French and English traditions, ancient glaciers and modern cities, rugged mountains and cosmopolitan harbors. In just 1 week, you've traveled from the roar of Niagara Falls to the serenity of Lake Louise, from Quebec's old-world charm to Vancouver's Pacific coast. Every province tells its own story. Every landscape feels larger than life, and every journey leaves you wanting more.
If this guide helped shape your Canadian adventure, tell us which moment captured your heart. And don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to Traveler's Treasure Globe for more cinematic guides. 1 week, one country at a time.